Hi, we're Kitty, Daisy and Lewis, and welcome to the Blues Kitchen.
Kitty, Daisy and Lewis first emerged onto the London music scene over a decade ago. Starting out while still in their teens, they've gone on to tour the world countless times, build their own North London recording studio, and 2017 saw the release of their fourth album, Superscope. As is customary in this series, we ask Kitty, Daisy and Lewis about a blues or soul artist that is close to their hearts. The band discussed the Stax soul recordings that came out of Memphis in the mid-1960s and even performed their very own version of William Bell's Every Day Will Be Like a Holiday. Kitty, Daisy and Lewis, welcome to Blues Kitchen.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Fine, thanks.
Good, yeah.
I say welcome to Blues Kitchen because you're joining us on the show, but you've welcomed us into your studio today. So maybe you tell us a little bit how this place came to be. We're having a bit of a natter before, but the story of this place is quite something.
It was kind of like a derelict Indian restaurant. Had our eyes on it for a while, and then the opportunity came up. So we jumped on it, and we weren't going to, and then we were on tour, and we were like, let's do it now, so we did it, and now we're here, and we built a studio.
3 years in the making?
Yeah, it took a long time. So now we can, do what we want, make noise and make records and stuff.
So Superscope, your album was out at the end of September, and I assume that was all tracked and finished and mixed and mastered in this room, was it?
Yeah, apart from the mastering, yeah. But yeah, it was all done here.
So what's an average day in the kind of home studio, if you like?
This time around it was kind of just, there wasn't so many people in the room as there previously has been, so it was nice to just kind of get on with it and make a record.
Yeah, usually we aim to start at like 10, 11, and then you come down, no one's ready. Everyone decides to start cooking breakfast and stuff. So like 3 hours later, you finally...
Both your last two records been made in this room?
Yeah.
Was there anything different about the way that you approached it? I know you, maybe in particular, Lewis, can be viewed as, like the equipment guy and love all the old gear and you build your studio. Was there a different approach to Superscope to albums you've made before?
Yeah, I think there was. Like when we were going to start recording it, like I wanted to kind of go back to doing it more in a live way, like we did on our first record. But not make it sound like that, make it sound like the new songs in a more contemporary way, but just kind of play it live. But we end up going completely the opposite way and like, doing drums to like a click and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Just because it kind of, I don't know, it just seemed to work better for what we were doing, Like we'd do a live take and you could hear things weren't right and it just wasn't polished enough, So there was that, and I think the production was a lot more simplified. There's less kind of like things going on in the overall mix. Whereas on the third LP, there was quite a lot, and it was almost like, we've got like a spare track, like we got to put something there, and like every VU meter was going. And
were you working with Mick Jones for the
For the third album, yeah.
So how did that come about?
We kind of knew him from around.
I can imagine him being a big fan of your band.
Yeah, so before we went in to record the third album, we were like, well, let's try getting a producer in just to see what they'll bring to the table, because we've always kind of worked on our own. We kind of didn't really know who would come in, and because we're a family as well, so it's, we don't often have people coming in and saying, it's not like a producer's role is to say you do that and tell people what to do, but it was just kind of like, well, who could bring something to the table, something new. So we said, Mick, do you want to do maybe a couple of songs? And he ended up coming in when we were rehearsing for the album. He came in sort of every day for about 5 months.
Every day for 5 months, hanging out with Mick Jones?
Yeah, well, like a few times a week,
While we were building this place at the same time.
Oh, really?
That's why it went on for so long,
Were there any moments with locking horns, or perhaps having difficult moments where you disagreed with Mick Jones? I mean, sometimes when you work with someone, it's very easy to get caught up in their history, and it's like, oh my God, it's that guy from the Clash. But you've been hanging out with him for every day for a few weeks.
A lot of the time, when there was disagreements, we'd pretty much all disagree with him. So it was like,
so you united front.
But it wasn't like an argument. It was the only arguing going on was between all of us, because there was 5 of us already, and then So when that would happen, he'd just go into the kitchen and make teas for everyone and spend about 3 hours doing that, or go to Greg's. Yeah, but most of the time, if we kind of weren't keen on any of his ideas, we'd kind of just play it out and then see what happens, you know. But
it was good having someone else around. It would just stop you like arguing as much in that.
And as far as musicians go, I mean, you have the wonderful Tan, and for anyone that doesn't know, he's seen some action, and he's been playing since the mid-60s on all kinds of Motown reviews, and you were telling me before.
Since the late 40s, actually.
Late
he's been
40s?
Playing, yeah.
Wow, okay. So if anyone wants to start doing some maths, you can maybe figure his age out. But he's an incredible character, and I assume that he comes in and plays on your records when you're in here as a trumpet player. But does anyone else come and guest, or do you keep it pretty much exclusively as you guys?
The last 3 records we've had a horn section, so not just Tan. We have a trombone and tenor sax as well. On this record we had Trevor Edwards on trombone and Bammy Rose on the sax.
We've also had like string sections and stuff as well, you know. And we had a harp player on one of the records. It's more about just what's needed. If we think something's needed, and then we'll try it, and if it works, we'll go with it. And you know. And on the last record, we collaborated with Slim Kid 3 from the Far Side.
Amazing.
Which was fun. Met him at a
that's
festival,
great,
and we were like, oh, let's do something together, you know. So we did. So anything goes, really, you know.
So, as is customary in this series, we've been asking all of our guests to do a cover. Now, you've got Christmas decorations up pretty early because we were at the end of November. And actually, when I was preparing and thinking about what I wanted to ask you guys earlier on, it started snowing. And you sent me a message saying that you were going to do a William Bell tune. Every day is like a holiday. Every day
will be
like a holiday. Which has got the sleigh bells in it, got a bit of Christmassy feel. But what is your reason for wanting to do that tune in session?
Well, the Christmas decks are here because we were doing something else. It's not something we do like every year. Like,
really love Christmas.
Yeah, so it's like really cheesy, like the presents and stuff like that.
I've wrapped up like
know.
the box of tea bags.
Is that what that is?
I was looking for those.
Yeah, it's looking for the tea bags.
I think I was listening to it maybe a few weeks ago, and when it was like, oh, what song should we do? I was like, I just thought of that one, you know. Maybe subconsciously because of the Christmas bell or something. You know?
It's not a song that we've kind of played before. Obviously we loved the song, but we'd never really played it before. So when Lewis suggested it, we were like, yeah, all right, let's give it a go, you know.
I mean, we had William Bell on the radio show. Unfortunately, I was ill when he was interviewed. Like all of these guys, he was an absolute gentleman, you know, and the recording, if you want to go back and listen to it, or anyone that's watching would like to go back and listen to it, it's available to dig out. But do you remember when you first heard that whole kind of Stax southern Memphis sound? Is there a particular tune that sticks out for you guys?
I mean, I've always been a fan of like Southern Soul, Stax records and high records and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's all just like good quality music. It's not fake in any right. Everyone should grow up with that stuff, you know. Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, and like it's just you can't ever say, oh, like I'm not really into that.
It's just good music.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever toured through Memphis?
We toured with Coldplay. That was our first tour we ever did, and when we toured with them, we had
the first tour you ever did was Coldplay.
North American tour,
North American tour. Probably like the biggest tour in the world at that time.
Yeah.
And like we got asked to go on it, and we were like, yeah, like
we were like
you know,
pretty young at the time. You know, I'd literally left school the day before.
Wow.
And finished my GCSEs exams. Flew out the day after to LA and started this 6-week long tour with Coldplay around like
arenas
and
yeah, huge, like 40,000 people and all of that.
Baptism of
every
fire.
night.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a day off in Memphis. When you're there, it's either 3 things: go to Sun Records, Graceland, or Stax. You know. So we went to Sun and Stax, which was cool. And there was no one there. It's like Deadsville. It's like tumbleweed. You don't see many people at all. And when we went to Stax, the cab driver like had a shotgun and or gun or whatever, you know. And he was like, "I'll wait outside for you." And we're like, "No, go, don't worry, we're cool." And he was like, "No, I'm waiting here because like if you walk around here, you'll get like killed or something, you know."
So I think it's a bit of time for William Bell. If you would like to introduce your tune.
We're Kitty, Daisy and Lewis.
And this is our version of Every Day Will Be Like a Holiday by
William Bell.
And every day